Alright, Gemini did a video tonight, or I think it was tonight. I watched it just a minute ago, and he was asking if we're burnt out on wrestling or is wrestling just that bad. I'm about the same age as you, Gemini. I've probably seen just about as many matches, anywhere from 10 to 20,000, I'm sure. I don't think that we're burnt out. I think it's just like everything's the same now. You know, you look back at the 80s and the 90s, and I mean, two of the greatest periods in wrestling. The 80s, Hulk Hogan, Ultimate Warrior, everybody just going crazy, Hulkamania. And then you had the 90s with Shawn Michaels, Bret Hart, Hulk Hogan heel, which was probably the greatest thing they ever did was turn Hogan heel. I mean, he was probably the best damn heel in the business. And I mean that. And people know how I feel about Hulk Hogan, but he was probably the best heel in that period of time, from 98 or 96 on. Nobody could top him as a heel. I thought Hogan was a way better heel. I mean, anybody can be a babyface. Hogan probably the biggest babyface ever, besides John Cena. John Cena's the biggest. John Cena's over more than anybody in the world. You can love him, you can hate him, whatever. He's probably one of the greatest of all time. In ring ability, but name all the greats in wrestling. None of them really had that big of a move set. It's entertainment, people. Wrestling, yeah, if you want to see wrestling, you watch New Japan, you watch stuff like that. You get good wrestling in WWE, don't get me wrong. But, if you look back, I mean, The Rock didn't have that big of a move set. Austin, in his early days in WCW, had a real good move set, but he had a lot of plagued injuries, so he didn't have a very big move set. Superstar. Hogan, not a very stout a lot of move sets. Over, one of the greatest performers of all time. Ultimate Warrior didn't have a lot of move sets. Biggest thing ever. Okay, so that shows you. I mean, you look at that. But the thing that I'm getting back to, because I'm rambling about sounding stupid right now. But anyway, the thing with Gemini is that no, we're not burnt out. The product is that bad. And yes, sometimes you do get burnt out of watching same matches over and over again, but you got to look at it this way too. This generation does not know what it took to get a person over back in the day. Let's say they were having Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar back in the early 90s, okay? They would bring an enhancement talent, which I know most of you out there do not know what an enhancement talent is. Used to on Monday Night Raw back in the 90s, they would bring in John Doe off the street, and he would take on The Undertaker. Undertaker would dismantle him in about 5 minutes or less, and The Undertaker just looked unstoppable. They would bring a bad guy in, and to build a bad guy up to make him over to where, they set up a match at WrestleMania or something. They'd bring in an enhancement talent, and whoever the bad guy was, let's say Brock Lesnar, would dismantle this dude in like 30 seconds, which built him up to look like a monster. Then at WrestleMania, when he faced Roman Reigns, it would look like these two were just going to collide, and it was going to be the greatest thing ever. I'm not looking forward to that main event at WrestleMania. There is 3 matches I'm looking forward to at WrestleMania at the moment. The first one is the 6-man ladder match, or 7-man ladder match for the Intercontinental Championship. I'm looking forward to that one. I'm looking forward to Sting and Triple H because I do think they're going to tear the house down. I really honestly think that, I don't think Sting's too old, and I don't think Triple H has been out of the ring long enough. I think it's going to be a good match. And it brings me to Bray Wyatt and Undertaker. I honestly think, you can say what you want to say about Bray Wyatt, he is the best character in WWE right now. Nobody can get you just like he does. And I think him and Undertaker will have a decent match. I think it'll be better than what people are expecting. The main event, or Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns, I don't think it's going to be worth crap. I think Orton and Seth Rollins will be good too. But anyway, that's getting me off the subject of what I did the video for. Gemini, you should know better than I do that the product is not what it used to be. They are like, wrestlers nowadays are just like cookie cutters. They're all pretty much the same. It doesn't matter what their moveset is outside of here. Let's say, like Ring of Honor's got a bunch of good wrestlers. You bring them in here, they're not going to look as good in WWE as they do in Ring of Honor because they're in the WWE system, so they have to do things the WWE way, so it takes them a little time to get to doing the WWE way, and it just don't look right. So all they do is make them cookie cutters. You really don't know who's babyface or heel because nobody gets any heat anymore. Nobody really gets under my skin. Except for, Bray Wyatt don't get under my skin, but he just captivates me. He makes me want to believe. God, I want to believe. Nobody else does that. Not right now. And in the background on my thing, you're seeing New Blood Rising 2000 on WCW from the WWE Network back here. Not a good pay-per-view, but I just felt like watching it tonight. But I figured I'd comment on Gemini's status. Now, we're not burnt out. I don't think I'm burnt out. I just think the product's bad. And they're not utilizing Daniel Bryan in the correct way. I think they're trying to shove Roman Reigns down our throats. I don't think Roman Reigns would be the good mouthpiece for the WWE. I think he was over a year ago, and he was over 6 months ago. But he's not over. You can't turn him heel because Brock Lesnar's leaving. So or most likely leaving. So what you gonna do with him? Really? I just don't see him carrying it. You can bash me all you want. I just don't see him taking the WWE way right now. He may prove me wrong, but I'm just saying my opinion. I state my opinion. I've watched wrestling for over 20 years, and I think it. I think I know a little bit about it watching it, and I've seen it over the years how it's changed. The PG air is not what's killing it. It's just they're not doing nothing with the talent they've got. They're not giving the guys the freedom to be themselves. They're trying to make them themselves like WWE. It's just throwing people out there without even a real good character that will catch you. I just don't see it. It's just not, the product's just not good. This is the worst built up for WrestleMania probably ever, like Gemini said too. They're just now getting going on some good stuff. Sting being on Raw, that was awesome to see. But I just don't know, the product's just down to me. I love WWE, I'm a loyal WWE fan. I'll stick with them, but it's just down right now. And we're going to complain, we're going to bitch, but we're still going to watch. If you're a wrestling fan, you're going to watch. So, it really don't matter, But I just figured I'd give my views on Gemini's video, and hope y'all enjoyed this. Hope I didn't ramble too much and make it stale again. I've been stinking up these videos lately. I'm trying to get back into doing the groove, but I hope you enjoyed, Gemini, and peace out, brother.